It could be on our best behavior now. Get
different
caught.
than some other time.
Oh no, we're always angels.
20 years. Yes.
We don't regret a single year.
What I do without you.
Morning.
Morning, how are you?
Good.
I'm Jasmine.
Jasmine, nice to meet you. I'm Mark.
Hi, how are you, everyone?
Yes.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Thank you, so.
Make yourself comfortable, Jasmine.
Nice to meet you all.
So, yeah, we'll go around and do introductions, but you want to call the meeting to order?
Yes, I will.
And what is our packet if you will?
Welcome, everybody, to the Capital District Youth Centers meeting, 9 AM, Wednesday, December 18th, 24. This meeting will be live streamed on CDYCI's YouTube channel. The agenda is number one, welcome and roll call. Now go through our Albany County, William Connors,
Present.
Jasmine Higgins,
Present.
Kristen,
Present.
Laura,
Present.
Rensselaer. Mike Scammell, Rensselaer. Susan from Saratoga County, not here. Greg here, Schenectady County, Gary Hughes.
Present.
Samantha is not here. And our guest today is Ray, thank you, from the Youth Center. And Lucas, thank you. Is there anybody else signed on through Zoom? We got Bill Ryan. And we have,
Hi, Stephanie Thomas.
thank you very much. Is there any others that I missed? We're good to go.
So I'd just like to welcome Jasmine.
That's right.
She is going to be pending appointment at the next meeting, the new CDRPC representative for Albany County on this board. So I invited her to this meeting. Thank you for your interest and your willingness to serve on both boards. Maybe you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Certainly. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm very thrilled to be here. I'm looking forward to joining the CDRPC board as well and attending that next meeting. I'm a local person. I grew up in the city of Albany. I went to the public schools, graduated from Siena College, and then I got my master's at Marist in public administration. I worked for the mayor for about 8 years in various roles, managing projects including the recent rezoning for the cannabis dispensaries to be able to operate, some social justice, public safety initiatives, and then some operational endeavors as well. And recently, as of a year ago, I switched over to the private sector where I've been working in economic development and public affairs, supporting clients across the state and across the country. So looking forward to continuing my work and my service in the community.
Great, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Jasmine. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Very nice to meet you all.
Okay, number two. Approval of the October 16th, 24 meeting minutes that are enclosed in our packets. Everybody's reviewed them all. Do I know? Do I hear a
Some over.
move, Gary, second? William, are there any questions? Hearing none, can I have yeas?
Aye.
Aye. Do I hear any nays? Hearing none? It's second. Good morning.
How are you?
How are you? Number three, financial statements through November 30th, 24. Memo 24, 28.
So, we've paid Berkshire in full for operations expenses quarter 1 and 2, and we're still receiving revenues for the quarter 3 billings. We will do the quarter 4 billings hopefully shortly after the close of the calendar year. On the expense side, the estimated expenses through November on the secure detention are 4.7, almost $4.8 million. And the specialized secure detention is about $7.3 million. Both lines are tracking under budget, primarily because the Together for Youth has not fully ramped up staffing to operate at 39 beds, nor is it operating a 39-bed facility, so expenses anticipated in the budget, like extra food and things like that, are not being incurred, which is accounts for the underperformance to budget. On the balance sheet, we have 177,000 and change in the bank. And that's about the size of it.
Okay. Board action is to approve it. Do I hear a first?
I'll make that motion.
Laura, thank you. Second, Mike. Thank you. Is there any questions regarding any of the aspects? Hearing none, can I have approval?
Aye.
Do I hear any nays? Hearing none, it's passed. Okay, thank you very much. Number 4, the 25 budget memo, 24 through 29.
Right, so last year was I guess, the painful year where we increased the budget 59% to account for ramping up to operate a 39-bed facility. This year's increase is much more modest, 5.2%. This accounts for additional expenses to operate at 39 beds, and some additional expenses that we previously did not have to pay for, namely the education program. So the budget includes an additional 500,000 to pay BOCES to provide teachers in the facility. Additional medical costs to serve additional youth in the facility, additional food, are the main drivers of those increases at the 5.2% level. As you can see, let's see. This beautiful chart here shows us how our budget has been changing over time, and the shares of that change that is 100% reimbursable. So the bottom blue bar represents sort of the out-of-pocket costs of the counties. The orange and gray bar represents the portion of our budget that's 100% reimbursable by the state. So you can see that while the costs have increased over time, the increases that are borne by the counties are relatively minimal compared to the overall increase in the budget.
Well, thank you.
Do you have anything else to add on the budget, Luke?
I don't. I mean, we always try to keep our increases down. Well, as you see, most of our increases are just due to increase in youth going to be coming in this year. Won't be very nice.
How are we doing with receivables, as far as returnable funds from government, are we getting those on a timely basis?
Yeah, I think the most challenging part for our operations is settling the information so that we can send bills out to the counties. So after Raise the Age, we now just send bills for stays in the facility to the 4 member counties. Albany County pays for any kids that are coming from out of the 4-county region, and then they get reimbursed directly by the state. So our process is just getting payments from the counties, and then they go seek to claim their reimbursement from the state at either the 49% for the secure detention or 100% for the specialized secure detention. I thankfully am not aware of the timeliness of those payments to the counties. I just know our counties are paying us in a timely fashion.
Okay, so therefore the receivables that we're getting from last year, this current year's budget, are, you might say that we expect the same for next year, so nothing over, we don't have any overrides there, or any expenditures overdue.
No, we won't have any, I don't think, any unanticipated expenses. The capital project will be over. We won't have to buy additional furniture. We won't have to stand up a new classroom operator. So those expenses that we approved this year, I don't anticipate would happen next year.
Thank you.
Mhm.
You are here first.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Do I hear a second? Here. Thank you. Any other questions? Then on the budget memo. Hearing none, can I hear Jace?
Aye.
Any nays at all? No. Therefore it passes. Thank you very much. Okay. Number 5, together for youth contract renewable contracts. MO 24-30. This is to extend their contract going forward. Mark?
Yeah, in 2021, we redid our agreement with Together for Youth, and that agreement authorized 5 extensions. This is the last year of authorized extensions under that arrangement. I know Berkshire has been eager to have a multi-year contract. So we'll talk about that probably over the next course of the next year to see what we're going to do after the construction project is completed. But this extension carries it through to January 1st, 25. I'm sorry, 26. December, I'm sorry. Wrong again. December 31st, 2023.
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve. contract.
Thank you, Mike. Did I hear a second? Lauren? Thank you. Is there any questions? Hearing none, yes,
Aye.
nays? Approved, thank you. Okay. Item 6, 24 Albany County Sheriff Inspection. Memo 24-31.
So the 2 facility types, secure detention and specialized secure detention. The sheriff of the home county is the co-administrator of the specialized secure detention facility. Our facility is co-certified as specialized secure and secure detention. So that means the sheriff takes a look at the entire facility when they do their annual inspection, which is required by the Raise the Age law and regulations. So you'll see a lot of the answers here are under construction or in compliance. We've been working closely with the sheriff throughout the construction project as we turn over new spaces. Their role in that is to ensure that security and safety and the regulations are being complied with. So I anticipate once construction is done, we would note that all these conditions would be satisfactory or otherwise in compliance. But this is the results of their reports. As a note, many of the conditions are under construction, but we didn't note anything significant from their inspection this time.
Thank you, Mark. Is there any other questions pertaining to this? Oh, thank you. Item 7, maximum facility for the current renovation phase. Level 24-32.
All right, so right now we are operating the new dorm D and the renovated dorm C. So once we turned over dorm C, we needed to amend the facility's maximum facility capacity, which is the authorization to use different parts of the facility and different areas. So the new maximum facility capacity certification certifies us to operate dorm D and dorm C and not operate dorms A and B while they're being renovated. It's just administrative, just bringing it to the board's attention.
Thank you, Mark. Any questions? Hearing none. Item 8. The SA update. Memo 24-33. In your packet.
So in August, the board authorized up to $300,000 to procure equipment for our new school operator, Capital Region BOCES. We executed a project services agreement with the dormitory authority in October to begin to purchase or to pay for the work that had been done to install the appropriate network equipment and other things. And they are proceeding with the procurement of the equipment needed to operate the school. The work to that was needed to be done in the classrooms was actually happened before the execution of the project services agreement, so the vendor has already been paid. But to date, that project services agreement covers just about $264,000. To date, $194,000 has been reserved under that work agreement. The project services agreement is attached for your review. The scope of work is primarily related to standing up the classrooms, replacing classroom furniture, but it also includes some funding to purchase appliances for the refresh of the kitchen. And I don't believe it's Exhibit B on the project services agreement. So that's the balance of it. I don't really anticipate a lot more being encumbered under this. But you can see the tracking table, which is the last attachment in the correlated section, the status of the items. So more than half of the items, they've issued a PO, and a couple of the items they've already issued payments for.
Thank you, Mark.
And again, those expenses will be reimbursable to us. We will have to bill out to the counties to get reimbursement, and then they'll be able to claim a percentage. Either, I think it's probably going to be around what the overall project percentage is, 89% reimbursement or so for those items.
Thank you much. Number 8. Number 9. Facility use memo 2434.
Right, the lion's share of facility use is Albany County, so congratulations there, Albany. But I think this points out something that came across my desk yesterday, and that Albany County is bumping up against its approved raise the age budget. So every year counties have to submit a raise the age plan to the state and get their budgets approved, but they cannot claim anything in excess of their approved raise the age plan costs. So Albany County is tracking about $500,000 over what their raise the age plan through budget is. So we've encountered this in previous years, and we try to add some padding for counties' budgets that they need to get approved. But at year end, we will take a look at the actual expenses for each county. We'll submit that information to the state, and then hopefully in one fell swoop, they'll be able to adjust all 4 plans to bring them in line with actual expenses. I think the process last year was not very painful, since the state took it on themselves rather than having to herd 4 cats to get it done. So hopefully we'll do that again next year.
Is there an average age or average stay time for each? I mean, is there an average at all for?
It's so different now than it used to be, because the delinquent youth, JV youth, their stay has increased from what it used to be, about 12 to 15 days. But the AO youth can stay for a year, 2 years. So looking at average length of stay doesn't really work well anymore.
So they're not categorized in. So.
No, I mean, we can look at it, but kids get moved up, they get stepped up, stepped down, so it really changes a lot more. So we can look to get you some information from that. We can work to get you broken down by category, but just know that it's gonna look like.
If asked, that would be a question that would be asked, how long it is.
We can pull it back.
Yeah, I mean, across the board, the lengths of stay have increased and increased, I guess, exponentially with the raise the age youth in the facility, AO youth in particular. I think it's getting better, but during COVID especially, and sort of once the youth part of the family court was established, the length of time it took cases to move through that process was extremely long. We had a kid in the facility who was awaiting trial and was eventually sentenced, but he was in there for 2 years.
A little over 2.5 years.
And youth can be sentenced to the facility for up to a year.
So it's not always the service that the child needs to be reformed, you may say, but it's the court system that's holding them in there more than anything else. That was what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, our kids are in there pending their court proceedings. You know, we can get, like Mark said, they can be sentenced for up to a year with us, but our kids are in there pending the disposition of the court.
Gotcha. Thank you.
The backlog has a huge.
It is, and I mean, it started a lot with COVID, just court processing times got a lot longer, and they haven't gone back to previous pre-COVID months.
Thank you much. That's number 9. Number 10. RTA capital project update, memo 24-35.
Well, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Since our last meeting, dorm C has been turned over, the gym has been turned over, 3 classrooms, the library have all been turned over, the driveway has been paved, the parking lot. Parking lot, the new section of the parking area, parking field includes pervious pavement to lessen the impact on the wetland. Hydro seeding has taken place on the facility grounds, so hopefully we'll have nice weather in the spring and all that nice green grass and native plantings will start to grow. Renovations in dorms A and B are proceeding in the kitchen area and in the dining room. The solar array has been turned on, so hopefully we will see those savings accrue to Berkshire's electric bills over time. And I know the EV charging stations are still being worked on, but they're close to being turned on and functional. And Albany County Legislature has approved modifications to the prime vendor contracts to backfill their contingency budgets. At the last meeting, I shared with you some of those calculations and some of the things that were driving the depletion of the prime contractors' contingency budgets. The main ones that we were most concerned about was general contractor, bunk off, and DLC, the electric contractor. They had encountered a number of high dollar change orders that were required either by code or by state regulating agencies. But thankfully, Albany County has amended those contracts to backfill and replenish those contingency budgets, and the amounts of that, those additional amounts are shown on the memo. We did receive late yesterday, which I did not forward, but Amy printed out the most recent project update.
It's on the very back of each packet.
Oh, yes.
Any like our meetings, any safety issues at the facility?
I don't think anything that we haven't been able to head on.
No, I think it's been great. We've had some spaces that I'll talk about when we get there. That's gonna open up, like Mark mentioned, the classrooms, the gym and the library. So I don't think we've had a physical restraint since December 6th, which has been great.
That's a testament to having the new spaces open. Kids are going to the gym now. They're able to do a lot more. It's very exciting.
It's good. Well, we still-
Have they used the outside rec equipment or is it too cold?
Too cold right now.
Is there any questions? Other questions? Hearing none. Item 11.
Right.
Education program update, memo 24-36.
So we, as I noted at our last meeting, OCFS issued a letter of concern to us and to Together for Youth related to the education program, which was significantly impacted by the construction project, classrooms being offline, and the compounding factor of our new school operator. So while Berkshire Farm has hired a school administrator that is on their staff, hiring teachers to teach in the facility, BOCES hiring teachers has been challenging. I believe one has been hired, almost hired.
We had a teacher, however.
Didn't work out.
There's certain that you need to be with our youth and it didn't work, which is okay, but we're still continuing to search for teachers.
So the state required Together for Youth to put together a performance improvement plan, which they have done and submitted and was approved yesterday. So I'm not sure if the approval letter made it into your packet, but the supporting materials and Berkshire's plan for the education program is attached. But you guys want to just give an overview of the steps you're taking?
with the platform?
Yeah, well, I can note that we have officially opened the plan, just as we stated in your packet. We are doing fully remote work with all of our kids. We have the laptops, we have the software uploaded, we have everything we need to continue forward. But
And they started, yesterday, we officially started in the classrooms, all three classrooms are being used. 24 laptops that are assigned and registered to each, youth that we have in the facility. So we have an educational, administrator right now. We don't have teachers, but we have the supervisors and AODs assisting with the virtual online training, education part that they're doing in the classroom. So it went well. Kids are getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, shower hygiene, get down to the classroom at 8 o'clock. And this is a big difference from where we were several months ago, trying to have a class in our tight dormitories. So this is excellent that we are able to utilize the platform right now.
Yeah, our space that our kids can access tripled with the opening of the classroom in the gym. So our kids are not stuck in this little space, which is great. I mean, I give our kids a lot of credit. You know, I know there's been a few issues, but they've done a really good job rolling with the.
They were looking forward to it. Yesterday, we ordered some food for the facility for the evening, so everybody did well.
Yeah. So we're very excited on how it's moving forward. Once we, our goal is to have live teachers, but we know that's very difficult. But this software that we're using is what BOCES suggested is what they use for their remote learning. So we're very excited to have it, and we are developing our internal student tracking, which our education administrator has taken on herself. She's doing that, and now our next step is to work with local school districts to develop that next step for credit recovery.
And the hiring for instructors, and what's the plan on that?
Both are continuing to work to get instructors in. We've had some interviews. We will continue to work with them very closely. We did sign a contract with this remote learning for the next year because we know it's going to be difficult to find teachers. And the great thing about this learning is we can add or decrease for each kid. So if we have 3 teachers, we can cut it back to just that one class that you need. So we're excited for the possibility.
Good.
Are they still able to obtain a GED or high school diploma during this period?
So at this time, they can't, because we have to work with the local school districts, North and South Colony, to get that record. However, because school has just started, no one would have any credit recovery that would be eligible for anything at the current moment. So we will have that in place by the time we get prepared to be able to do that.
Thank you. Now number 12, election of 25-26 officers. Our committee asked everybody to move up, as in the past, they have all adopted. The only issue was in Schenectady, and Gary has offered to fulfill the role as president going forward. I thank everyone for stepping up into those roles going forward. So do I hear first? I'm accepting the roles going forward.
So moved.
So moved. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Mike. Is there any questions? Hearing none. Yeas?
Hey,
Nays? Hearing none, it passed.
You must be running out of room for hats.
Unanticipated hat.
He's
Anticipated, but-
for the 22nd year.
Oh, here we go again.
Thank you, Carrie, and everybody else. Number 13, 25 or 2025 meeting schedule. MO 24 through 38. Right here first. Laura, thank you. Fire second. Thank you. Kristen, is there any questions that anyone has? We'll all make it. Assuming.
God willing.
God willing, yeah.
In person?
Sure.
I'm gonna put that out there in person.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and do I hear yays? Aye. Do I hear nays? Hearing none, it passes. We're all committed to next year. Okay. Item 14, Facility Operation Agency report. Together for you.
Well, before Ray goes, I'd just like to express appreciation to Together for Youth, Ray, his team, Luke, his team, for doing an outstanding job communicating with each other and with the vendors and with the construction people, construction managers. I could imagine this process be a lot more difficult with another group of people, but they have made it as easy as possible. And have had a difficult job. So we're all looking forward to the end of 4 months from now.
I'm sure they are.
And the team.
It's a team
Thank you,
effort,
thank you,
right?
Mark. As we mentioned before, it's been a blessing that we got approved for the gym and the classroom and the library to be open. It creates a lot more space within the facility. The youth have been on the dorm for several months, so we utilize the gym a lot more than what we normally did in the past. And this has created, got rid of the tension with not only the residents, but the staff as well. Classrooms, like we mentioned earlier, they started with the classroom yesterday. We're going to keep that going right into the holiday break. And we can use the classrooms now for extra space on the weekends. Now we have our enrichment program starting up with outside resources coming into our program speakers. So that space right now is huge for our facility. So I'm looking forward to that. And the library. Who doesn't like the library? So we're doing some great things. And then all of this, we still continue to do training. Work with the construction team to, focus on safety and security within the facility. So I think it went well yesterday. Just looking to continue and ride it out. Yeah, that's going good.
Yeah, and I think our biggest focus starting January is going to be programming for our kids. As Ray said, we're bringing a lot of outside providers. We have some speakers, our youth speaker series with individuals who have been through the system we're going to start that again. Albany Center Gallery is working with our kids to do murals on all that white space to get that painted up. We're bringing a music program. We're also excited that we are bringing on our last clinician, so we will have a full mental health clinical staff, which we have not had, and they have a lot of plans for the groups that they'll be able to offer. We have our case managers on board and our recreation program, our recreation specialists, they're coming on board. So we're really looking forward to the beginning of the year and finish construction, but the programming that we're going to be able to bring in, we have a lot of great potential programs to bring in from the outside. So we're very excited for that. And the mental health, having the mental health clinicians is a huge part of why we're able to help these kids and keep our incidents, which are dramatically down.
Absolutely. And like I said, space just creates success. And we're so happy right now. We're going to make the most of it.
Did the union issue resolve itself?
So we are continuing to negotiate with you.
Okay.
And that is a continuing work that we'll be doing.
Okay.
Is there an arbitration process with that, or is it just?
No, we're negotiating our contract. Yeah. We're continuing to work closely with you. But we do appreciate working with them, and we are meeting with them regularly to work on, to make sure we have a safe place for our youth and staff.
I appreciate it very much. I know it was a long haul. We're starting to see the light. So I appreciate it. Is there any other questions for the center?
No, I look forward to our next walkthrough.
Yeah, too.
Yeah, I need to take Jasmine out there, so she sent me some dates, which I'll circulate. And if others want to join, you can make that happen.
Definitely. Yes.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Item 15, is there any other business that we have to address Great. Mark,
No other business for me.
all other business, boy. We'll write you through this. Okay. Next meeting time and date is.
2025, I believe.
Oh, yeah, sorry. 2025.
Excuse me?
It's supposed to say
2025.
2025, not 4,
Oh, yeah,
just so that we don't go back in time. I am not reliving this year.
there we go. Maybe we will get to 22.
Oh, God, we're gonna go on this forever.
So be on the lookout for all the calendar invites
Yeah, I
I'll
will.
send you, for 2025 meetings.
Mhm.
So then the next date is January 15th. 25.
Yes.
There we go. Is there any other questions we have to address?
Like, motion, we,
No.
no?
Need a motion to
We
adjourn.
have a motion.
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Sorry.
Karen.
Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none? Have anything?
Happy holidays.
Happy birthday.
I want to thank everybody for a
Thanks,
great
folks, so much.
year.
Wait till the next one.